Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Kulchin, aka BachelorClues, and as you might see, Lizzie is not with us today. She's on maternity leave, out there producing new life, bringing it into our world, the first pit baby. I wish her all the best. I wish her great luck and success in this endeavor, of course, and I hope everything goes smoothly. But in her absence, you have me. And we're going to get to State of the Game very quick in this episode of This Week in Bachelor Nation. But first, we have to set the mood, you see. Here at Game of Roses, I wear a lot of hats. Some of them are on this wall behind me. Come on now. This is Litia Garr's signature, come on now, blue trucker cap, which I purchased from her website when she put them on sale. And I wore this, of course, in a very recent episode of Golden Bachelor Season 2, when Peg went on a date with Mel. I was there right behind them wearing this beautiful hat. Sometimes I also wear my white Boston Red Sox Bachelorette cap, which was given to me by somebody in the pit. This is an artifact from our beloved game. Sometimes it is my SLOMW hat. I also, from time to time, have been known to wear the cursed Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 VIP hat. I don't like wearing this hat. I don't really ever want to wear it again, but I did wear it for a bunch of the recaps. Well, I'll say this. I am proud. I am honored. I am excited to right now be doing... What is this called? A box opening or an unveiling? This is an unboxing, I think they call it. I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a brand new hat that I'm going to be wearing in service of the pit. Shall we begin? This is my unboxing blade. I use it for its sharpness. It's a linoleum knife that I used to use to make linoleum art with back in my street art days and leave little linoleum tiles all around the streets of Los Angeles with strange phrases on them. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I know what's in here. I think you might also. Oh my God, it's beautiful. For this cap, there's a receipt in there. I'm just trying to see if there's no other accoutrement. Simply the hat. That's all you're going to get. I'm not retiring these hats by any means. I'm simply taking them off. I'm putting them in their rightful place. Come on now goes immediately behind me. My Bachelorette SLOMW hat goes over here with my Bachelor Shrine. My VIP Season 10 hat, don't care. It lives somewhere in the room. And now added to the list of hats I will wear proudly in support of Game of Roses, my official Dad Talk hat. Thank you very much. Dad Talk, thank you very much. It's I need to size this down a little bit. Thank you very much to Mom Talk. We, of course, know without Mom Talk, there would be no Dad Talk. This is the same hat that little Chippy is seen. Oh, that's too small. That little Chippy is seen wearing multiple times throughout various episodes of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, especially in Season 3. He had a huge plot line. The bill of this hat is super small. It's a weird make, but nonetheless, I'm going to wear this with pride. Oh, we got some tags on it. What's the tag? Lift lids. I'm going to slice that off with my linoleum knife. And now I got me a Dad Talk hat. Gotta bend that bill up a little bit. This thing's stiff as hell. Okay. So now I have my next hat. It just looks so strange and small. It's a weird design, but I'll love it nonetheless. Thank you so much, Dad Talk. Thank you so much, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Mom Talk, everyone involved in the production of this hat. I will wear it proudly, especially as I'm closing out the final episodes of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 3. That's in our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/GameRoses. Watch all those episodes with me. I am honored to have this piece of merch. It's growing on me. It doesn't look too bad. This is kind of how maybe I should wear it. It does seem very like emo, but I guess that's what Dad Talk is at this point, at least to me. Thank you for indulging my unboxing of my newest hat here at Gore. Now, let's jump into Game of Roses. State of the Game. So the state of the game currently is basically exactly what you're looking at. It's this, not dad talk exactly, but Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. The infusion, and we're going to get to a piece of news in Bachelor Nation news that will further support the claim I am making now. But the infusion of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives into The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars, really the entire repertoire of ABC reality TV shows, is effectively complete at this point. You've got so much, you've got two people from Secret Lives on Dancing with the Stars. You've got the star of Secret Lives as your incoming bachelorette. She's shooting her season now, making fantastic social media to that end, some of which we're going to be discussing in our Parasocial Plays of the Week. But we really are looking at an era of The Bachelor and specifically ABC reality, aka Hulu reality, because those are there's a licensing deal. So they're kind of like the same thing at this point. But we are looking at this strange era where another reality show has launched in ABC, in Hulu, in that world. And the stars of that show are now just dominating every other show. They are the kind of central focus of all of ABC reality. And I'm curious, how that's going to play out over the next couple of years. Can they keep dipping into the Secret Lives well to get a bachelor? And who would that even be? Dakota? Like, I doubt it. So we're living through this kind of brief window, I think, where the Secret Lives are gonna, or the SLOMW was the, Whitney and Taylor Frankie Paul and Jen Affleck. Those are the primary ones who are on these other shows. You're going to see them, I think, after this next year, have to kind of like retreat back to SLOMW. They will all be way more famous, but I just don't know, like, how many other ABC reality shows can you put any of them in? I'm not sure. Like, maybe you could get a Taylor Frankie Paul on Dancing with the Stars next year. Maybe you could get some of the other ones on Dancing with the Stars next year. Maybe. But it does seem like they're firing right now, to me, on all cylinders. They are everywhere. They are in every ABC reality show. And I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. I think it's a good thing, because Bachelor, man, the franchise has just not been in a good place for many years, really since the pandemic, I would say. It's just been kind of like a slide down with a few moments of like real brilliance, like Grazia Day's season. That's probably the highlight of that era, I would say. Most of the relationships have fallen apart, and the ones that are still together, at least with like Zach Shawcross and Katie Bigger, no one hears about them. You're going to hear a little bit about them today, because Katie Bigger had a pretty good Parasocial play, but they're not like celebrated in the same way that a normal couple would be. So even the success stories from like the Bachelor franchise are kind of tamped down. You don't see or hear too much about them. But now with Taylor Frankie Paul, I think whether she finds a guy and it's believable that they're in a real relationship or not, I don't think it's going to matter. That show is going to be gigantic. It is going to reinfuse the Bachelor franchise with new fans, with a new level of fandom. Back to that, I think, back to the old days of just like rabid fandom, loving everything that's coming out. I mean, I know they're doing it on Sundays, which is a shift from the regular Monday nights, which I think is a mistake. But, I'm hopeful that we're going to see just like a wave of watch parties and people really like getting excited to watch Bachelor again. I think that's going to happen. All that said, like I was kind of bringing up earlier, I am a little concerned about the level of SLOMW in all of the other ABC reality shows. And what is it going to do to Bachelor after Taylor Frankie Paul? Hopefully they'll build a nice narrative for one of the rookies in her season to become the Bachelor, and it will kind of reset for everyone, and I don't know how long it will take for that kind of like interest level to taper off when she's not in it anymore. But I think we are looking, traditionally speaking, the Bachelor always gets higher ratings than Bachelorette. Obviously this year, I don't think Taylor Frankie Paul is competing with the Bachelor. I don't think we're getting a Bachelor in 2026. So it'll be a hard comparison to make, obviously, but I do think whatever Bachelor comes out of her season, if that's how they're going to cast it, and I think they should probably, unless you can stunt cast, I think maybe that'll be the first time you really see a Bachelor season doing worse than the season of Bachelorette that Bachelor came from, because Taylor Frankie Paul is just a force of nature. We've never had anything like that as a lead in Bachelor or Bachelorette for that matter. The closest you come to it is, maybe a season 7 Jerry O'Connell, who was, or Charlie O'Connell, sorry. He was Jerry O'Connell's brother. And Jerry O'Connell, for those who don't know, was a kind of decently well-known actor in the 90s. And even Charlie O'Connell was in a few things, I want to say. Nothing big. And you also had Dark Lord Palmer himself. Jesse Palmer was an NFL quarterback, like an active NFL quarterback when his season was shooting. He was not a great one. He was never like a huge star or anything, but like he was in the NFL in a real way. So those were the only two people that you had even approaching any level of celebrity that would be commensurate with what Taylor Frankie Paul is bringing, which again, those people are nowhere near what she's got. Over 5 million TikTok. I believe she's at 2.1 or 2.2 Instagram. She is the star of the biggest show on Hulu, biggest reality show on Hulu. I just don't, we've never seen anything like this. So in terms of the state of the game, I am very enthusiastic about where it's headed in 2026 because of Taylor Frankie Paul. But I also I don't even want to say hesitation or reservations about it, because I don't. It's more like I have curiosity about what will happen to the Bachelor franchise after her when she vacates the throne and somebody else is put in it that is not from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. What will that be like? And what is 2026 going to look like for all of these other reality shows on ABC and Hulu if you're not stacking the deck with Secret Lives players? I'm also curious to see what season 4 of Secret Lives is going to be like. That'll come out next year, obviously. And there will be some news about that as well in our Bachelor Nation news segment. But yeah, to me, the state of the game really is, it's Secret Lives. That's the state of the game. They are the same show at this point. You're seeing all of these, and I don't want to give too much away about, again, what we're going to say in the Parasocial Plays, but like you're going to see some stuff in Parasocial Plays of the week where Taylor Frankie Paul is kind of merging the lore of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives with Bachelor in a way that's fascinating to me. And it really is like it's becoming the same reality show almost in terms of like swapping players and just the kind of like little things that are happening on social media. They're really merging the shows together. And so once that merger is complete, which will be, I believe, the airing of Taylor Frankie Paul's season of Bachelorette, which the premiere date is March 22nd. Once that happens, it's like, how do you detangle that? How do you bring Bachelor back to like, no, it's Bachelor. It's not an extension of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And do you even want to do that? For my money, kind of no. Like in like a perfect world, in my opinion, you have every Secret Lives of Mormon Wives wife, single, divorce their husbands, whatever they got to do. And then just one after another. You just line them up. They are your next 5 bachelorettes in a row. That's how I would do it. Well, I guess you have Layla, right? She's single. Put her in there. Make her the next bachelorette. I'm down with that. I mean, she's technically single. I don't know if she's still dating that guy or not. The Chase's brother, I think. I know too much about it. That's why I wear this hat. Dad Talk, proudly. I'm a proud member of Dad Talk. I have no children except a cat, just to let you know. But I will definitely do TikToks with any members of Dad Talk if they want to. But that is effectively the state of the game as I see it. We are entering this era of our beloved game that is going to be absolutely dominated by Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. If you are not watching that show, I think you are making a mistake on multiple levels. One, this is your incoming bachelorette, who is the most famous lead we have ever seen by a massive margin. It would behoove you to watch her in every episode, basically, of Secret Lives, just to see her play style, to see what she's capable of doing in these psychosocial dynamic situations, just to give you an idea of like what you're about to see. And I'm not exaggerating here. It is reality play on a level I am not positive I've seen anywhere before. She just understands it so well. And I think it's rooted in coming from social media. She understands the camera. She understands the parasocial gaze. She understands these things at a level that no incoming player really ever has, I think. So there's that to look out for, to just kind of see her play style, which I think is very fun. And secondarily, the show is fantastic. It's one of the best reality shows ever made, I think. And it took me a while to get on board. It took a lot of Lizzie trying to convince me, many people in the pit DMing me, you got to be watching this. You got to be watching this. And it took me a minute to get on board, but I'm very glad that I did, because every player on that show, minus these players, Dad Talk, I was pointing to the hat, if you're just listening, the women on the show are like stellar. All of them. Even the villains are doing things that are, they're almost like beyond villainy. I don't even know how to explain it. You just got to watch the show if you're not, and you can do that on Patreon with us, patreon.com/gameroses, like I was saying. But we also have just never had this opportunity to get this much intel on an incoming lead, because there has never been an incoming lead that was on this much TV that wasn't already like a rookie season or something, you know. I guess Vial technically had 3 seasons of television before he was the lead. That's roughly what Taylor Frankie Paul has, but she is the main character of all 3 of those seasons, whereas Vial was simply one man in a pool of rookies on Andy Dorfman's season 10 and Caitlin Bristow's season 11 of Bachelorette. And then, of course, he did make an end run on BIP season 3, but it did not end up in an engagement. We obviously know why. He was going to be the Bachelor. Nonetheless, that's the state of the game. We're about to be taken over by the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives here in Bachelor Nation, and I'm totally down for it. I hope you are too. We're, of course, going to be covering all of that, and the social media that's going to be pumping out at that time is just going to be absolutely wild. So please join us for it all. And now, let's move on to that portion of our program where we deliver all those tids that are fit to print.
This is Bachelor Nation News.
First up in Bachelor Nation news, after a less than stellar performance on the recent Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, the Moss Man, Dale Moss, and Kat Izzo have ended their relationship that started on that season. Izzo, who made an end run on BIP Season 9, where she was forced to remain engaged to deep-sea welder John Henry Spurlock for 3 business days after their finale aired, posted multiple photos of herself and the Moss Man in a seemingly happy relationship over the past few months. But when Moss appeared on the Vial Files in September, Dale revealed that the couple didn't have any engagement plans, leading many in the nation to speculate that a split might be forthcoming. Izzo added fuel to the fire by commenting, then deleting the snarky comment on one of Moss's TikToks. In the video, Moss dresses himself and pontificates, "Life is not always easy. Situations are not always perfect, but when you can reflect back and look at some of the tough times and how you got through them, it puts a lot in perspective. Nothing too deep, just chopping it up, stay the course." Kat commented, "Ha ha 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 ha. Rich coming from you." To add further fuel to the breakup rumors, Kat unfollowed Dale. The breakup, which is believed to have happened in October, has now been confirmed by their various representatives. This is simply, wait, hang on. I have to change hats for this one. This is simply, it's predicted. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen. Bachelor in Paradise relationships, although it has a higher success rate volumetrically than the Bachelor, I think per capita, I don't know if it does or not, honestly, because most of them break up. There are a few that are still together, but most of them break up. At any rate, this was predicted. You know, sorry to hear it, I suppose. I don't know. I thought Dale was underwhelming on Bachelor in Paradise Season 10. I was really ready for some stellar play. He delivered a kind of lackluster performance, I thought. Nonetheless, you don't like to see people break up ever, so best wishes to you, Kat and Dale. Moving on. Speaking of Bachelor Nation breakups, up next in Bachelor Nation news, we have some very interesting information coming out about the breakup between Bachelor Season 29 crowned Grant Ellis and his ring winner, Juliana, "It Was My Friend's House," Pasquarosa. Pask recently made an appearance on the hard-hitting Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, where she revealed that she believes Grant had a breakup plan in place since the finale. This is her direct quotes. It's a long quote, but I'm going to read it all because I think it's important. She said, again on Bachelor Happy Hour, "Honestly, I know Grant and I have tried our very best to kind of keep a lot of things under wraps, but I think there's a little bit of clarity due here. Where I will say I woke up from the morning after, it wasn't the finale, the morning after the finale, it was the next morning after we had sat through all the press. I woke up and there were some words exchanged between the two of us that made me feel completely alone and isolated. And I don't even know why I had tried to stick around for as long as I did. And it was heartbreaking for me. I was depleted as a human. The thing I would like to share is that I had expressed some severe hurt, and I felt like I was kind of carrying a lot of the emotions between both parties throughout the entire watching it back. Ultimately, I had watched things back because I couldn't hear things live in live time, but I had watched things back and I knew basically everything. Nothing Litia said had struck a nerve. I think it was just a matter of how it was handled from his end and trying to get him to take some accountability in that. And I was really upset, and I probably spoke out of anger and said some really hurtful things that night before. And then when we woke up, the first thing he said to me was he had a game plan. He had game planned different ways we could announce our breakup, and I hadn't even made that decision on my end. I was supposed to be leaving to come home from LA, and I was like, that's how we're going to start this day and have this conversation. And after everything I felt like I did for us and putting myself on the back burner, it's back to the optics. It's back to what people are going to think and not about us and our relationship. It's what the outside world thinks, and I couldn't handle that anymore. Thank you to Juliana Pasquarosa for this glimpse into the mind of a bachelor who knows he's going to dump his ring winner. Wow. So this was the morning after the finale, I think, if I'm getting her timeline right. They wake up together. And she's like, I don't know, I'm feeling kind of bad about some stuff. And then he's like, look, I know how we can break up. That's got to be pretty shocking to hear, especially that soon after your season has ended airing. But that watch back phase is like, that's the hardest phase, I think, for any of these couples who are really trying to stay together, who want to give it a shot, because there's so much like, it's not just that the ring winner is now watching all of the other things that the lead said to the other players during the season. And, if they're falling in love or whatever love level they may be at over the course of that season, the ring winner now gets to see all of that back and literally see how the person you're now engaged to is interacting with these other people all the way up to the finals, the finale. That is a rough thing. It's also rough in the watch back because you have the fourth audience, all of us are, typing away on our damn phones every week being like, oh, fuck that person, or this person's a piece of shit, they're a villain, whatever the thing may be. All of that also takes its toll on whatever relationship you're trying to cultivate. And so I know that's a hard phase, but look, this is my 2 cents. Hang on. Put on my PsycholoClues hat. This is just my 2 cents. If Grant is saying, look, I got to figure it out, I know how we can break up, that probably means he's thought about that since the proposal, even before the proposal. Honestly, I think a lot of players, a lot of leads get in that situation. They're like, oh shit, I got on this show, I kind of have to do the engagement thing, that's how this show ends. But they know even as they're proposing or being proposed to, that this will not stick. They're going to say yes right now for the cameras, but 3 to 4 months later, you're going to get the amicable breakup post. And I think that may be what Grant was doing here. Again, this doesn't mean that I went to any kind of therapy school, this hat I'm wearing. It simply means that I'm now professing psychological understanding of why these people made these decisions, even though I have none. That's all this hat means. Next up in Bachelor Nation news, even more breakup news, but this time it's coming from the NRU. Love is Blind Season 3's Alexa Althea and Brendan Lemieux have ended their 4-year marriage. More than a year after Love is Blind, these Love is Blind Season 3 stars welcomed their daughter, Vienna Lemieux. They confirmed the destruction of the relationship via Instagram. Alexa wrote, quote, after much reflection and many heartfelt conversations, we have made the difficult decision to end our marriage. This choice was not made lightly, and it comes with a great deal of care, respect, and appreciation for the time we've shared. We entered this relationship with love and optimism, and we leave it with gratitude for the experiences that shaped us and the growth we each gained along the way. While our journey as a married couple is coming to an end, we remain supportive of one another, devoted to our daughter, and committed to navigating this transition with compassion. As of now, Dark Lord Vanessa Lachey has not commented on whether she considers the experiment a success or whether she still accepts Brendan and Alexa's progeny as an official Love is Blind baby now that the couple is split. Sad to see this happen, obviously. From that season, really from Love is Blind generally, I would say they were one of the couples that I thought really would make it and go the distance. I don't know what the reasons for this are. They've obviously issued their press safe statement about, being in each other's lives still and good parents and blah, blah, blah. But we don't know. We don't know why they chose to make this decision, only that they did. Sorry to hear it. Next up in Bachelor Nation news, Bachelor season 29 runner-up and come on nower. Hang on. Had to get my Litia Garr hat. And come on nower, Litia Garr is rumored to be appearing in season 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I can't believe this. While there hasn't been an official announcement of the further commingling of SLOMW and the Bachelor franchise, she's reportedly been spotted shooting scenes with the cast, and she's appeared in multiple social media posts with Layla, Jesse, Macy. I think Miranda is also, she's made a couple with her. She's like friends with all of them. It's rumored that Litia, who has been open about her Mormon faith, will be on the show, at least as a quote friend of, if not as a main cast member. Congrats to Litia on leveling up into the biggest reality show on Hulu. We can't wait to see her play in season 4. Now, all this said, she, of course, is Mormon. We remember her hometown, the giant Mormon family. She's from that area. So it kind of makes sense that she would be able to get into this. Maybe she even tangentially knew somebody who knew somebody. Maybe she was already friends with him. I'm not exactly sure. But wowee, hats off to Litia Garr. And this is kind of what I was talking about in the top portion there, State of the Game. It's like it's becoming the same show. You know what I mean? Like there's now a big Bachelor player. I mean, Litia Garr was the runner up. She, in my opinion, on Grant's season was like the best play. She was what I will remember that season for. Her play was amazing. She was funny, very interesting. She's great on TV. She's like a star level reality player, I think. And so now she's just like, oh, let me go get in Secret Lives. You already had fucking Hakeem Moulton was in Secret Lives at the Halloween party. And he got into the show just from face play alone. His face play was so good that they put him in the show. Now Litia Garr is going to be in it. Is this just going to be the way it is? I can't imagine like if Taylor Frankie Paul winds up with a ring winner, that guy's going to be in season 4, right? I would imagine, or perhaps any number of those guys might be. Is this going to create some kind of a broader, player pool where now we're seeing it's not just Hakeem. Now it's like how many of the guys that were on Taylor Frankie Paul's season of Bachelorette can we just have at parties and shit in SLOMW? I think that's possible. And the fact that Litia Garr is now going to be, I mean, whatever, they're saying she's not going to be a main character, but like, come on, really? I think she probably will be, even if she's a friend of. It's like they've had multiple friends of on SLOMW at this point. A couple of them get lines here or there, but for the most part, at least by my memory, most of the friends don't really get lines. They're there. They might even get introduced, but they don't have any important shit happening. They're not ever a part of a main storyline. I could see Litia changing that. And then if that's the case, is Bachelor now a pipeline to SLOMW? Is that kind of the next step up? Can we consider SLOMW third wave now? If it's like you're kind of, because you're now involving these other reality shows, like I would have to assume season 4 of SLOMW is going to include some Bachelor stuff, is going to include some Dancing with the Stars stuff. And so then it's like, well, now SLOMW has 3 different shows in it, basically. I don't know. We're heading into like very fascinating times in Bachelor franchise. And I do think it's like time for this type of a thing to happen. But again, I am curious to know what is going to happen after it. How will the tendrils of SLOMW, be retracted from The Bachelor? I don't know. But nonetheless, congrats to Litia Garr. This is gigantic news, and couldn't be happier for her. Couldn't be happier for us, quite frankly. I think watching that season 4 with Litia in it is going to be stellar. And finally, in Bachelor Nation news, some incredible Love Island news. Star of Love Island USA season 6, Leah Kateb, is listed on Forbes 30 under 30. Now, I must admit, I read this information. I was like, wow, let me check out this list. And I flipped through the entire list. And Leah Kateb was the only person that I recognized. I don't know what that says about me. Does it mean I'm too old to know these people under 30? Does it mean that I only watch reality TV? I don't think there were any other reality TV people in it. I don't think it means I'm old, because if you looked on my stories this week, I got my Spotify Wrapped information. And what do you think my listening age was? I'll give you a hint. 21 years old. So I'm definitely young at heart and young in mind. So I don't think it's that. Anyways, all that said, congrats to Leah Kateb on this prestigious honor. And now let's move on to that portion of our program where I go through the top 5 Parasocial plays of the week. Coming in at number 5 this week is the former Victoria Fuller better half, Gregory Grippo. The Grip Master posted a 47-second TikTok this week following the trend of husbands in the beginning scenes before a traumatic accident. It conjured fart humor, shirtless plumbing, a tickle monster, and nose boops. The reel also conjured speculation about who might be shooting the video, because somebody is there shooting this video where he's under the covers and shit and shirtless, etc. It also conjured an impressive 139.1K views. Congratulations to the Grip. Coming in at number 4, we have a fellow Bachelor Nation journalist, Reality Steve, who had a very special guest on his podcast this past week, Dave Neal. This week, Dave appeared on his podcast, and they got to talking about our interview, Game of Roses interview with Ricky Wise, aka Storytime with Ricky. And they were also talking about our discussion with Ricky about the great one, Nick Viall. A TikTok of that piece of the conversation has been making the rounds, featuring Reality Steve going hard on Viall for dismissing micro shows while simultaneously talking about the news micro shows are reporting on. Hats off to Reality Steve and Dave Neal for keeping Viall's feet to the fire. In that clip, Reality Steve is like, I forget exactly how he puts it, but he's like, it enrages me. He says something about like how it drives him crazy that Nick Viall is always like shitting on all of our shows, yet he takes the information that we are reporting on and then discusses it on his show, that we're almost like doing free research for him, essentially. Will that ever change? I don't know. But something, it feels to me, again, this is just a feeling. What hat would this is probably a dad talk hat. Let me put on my dad talk hat. This hat is so hard, it hurts to wear. Nonetheless, I feel like there is something bubbling up in the Bachelor coverage world, that it's maybe we're going to be taken a little more seriously or something. I think the time is coming to an end that Nick Viall can call us micro shows and shit on us openly. I think that time is coming. Could be wrong, but I think it's coming. In third place, we have a 3-way tie, indulging in a recent trend that features people reflecting on saying yes to a decision in their 20s that ultimately affects their entire lives. We've got Joe Fletcher, the Ashley I. Canetti, and Katie Bigger. They all took part in this trend, reflecting on their experiences in our beloved game, bringing them their soulmates. Each of these Bachelor Nation Powerhouse videos features a montage of their most memorable moments in and out of game as they began their romances with their fellow players. A-Ro Bro, Jared Iaconetti, and Zach Shawcrank. Katie Bigger's reel had 683K views. Ashley I had 3.6 million views, and Joe's had 6.3 million views. Staggering numbers coming from these luminary players. Congratulations, Jesus. 6.3 million views on Joe's. Unbelievable. That season was so fucking good. She was one of like the best bachelorettes, I think, of all time. The way she came into the game as the Bachelorette was also fascinating. That, of course, was the season. It was Ben Higgins season 20 is where she was a rookie. And we got, it was Ben Higgins fell in love with both of the 2 finalists, including Joe. We also had Kayla Quinn on that season, and she was supposed to be the Bachelorette. They were even shooting with her. And then they yanked it and gave it to Joe. And now here are the results. Was that a good choice? I don't know. But JoJo's reel has 6.3 million views. Congratulations. In second place this week is Mamacita enthusiast, Love Island USA Season 7's Nick Van Steenberg, who appeared with the Kim Kardashian in a TikTok for her Christmas Skims event. The TikTok was SpawnCon, and it was incredible, featuring a dancing Kim Kardashian before cutting to Nick sitting on a chair on the set of Kim's Christmas event. Congrats to Nick. Anytime you can get in a Kardashian video, you know that you've elevated. You know that you are doing something correct. You know that you are achieving the next level of reality television success. I would also throw doing something with Paris Hilton in there. Any of the big, like, gigantic social media accounts. I don't know if Cristiano Ronaldo ever messes around with reality stars or not, but at least in the reality world, the Kardashians are essentially like the top of the mountain. And so if you're doing stuff with them, you're doing it right, in my humble opinion. But this week, the top Parasocial play of the week goes to the incoming Queen Taylor Frankie Paul for a reel she made, in which she forces her Bachelorette producers to eat Fruity Pebbles. In the reel, TFP reveals that one of her producers has never tasted the sweet crunch of the Flintstones-inspired breakfast cereal that turned Demi's pea into a sweet nectar that Brett guzzled down with glee. The producer smells the pebbles. God damn it, I wish Lizzie was here to read this. The producer smells the pebbles, compares the olfactory experience to Fruit Loops, then devours the pebbles, and seems to have a life-changing reaction, exclaiming, "I get it now. Delicious, flavorful." Then TFP devours the pebbles, and on screen, we see the text that reads, "The gift that keeps on giving." Indeed, this reel has 2.7 million views, and Hannah and Barbera are no doubt looking down from the heavens upon this strange evolution of their beloved cartoon characters and wondering what in the hell has happened to humanity. Hanna-Barbera created the Flintstones. This is what she's doing on social media right now, with the kind of like behind the scenes of her season shooting The Bachelor, or Bachelorette, sorry, and kind of involving the producers in these little videos and stuff she's making. It's we've never seen anything like it, obviously. Generally speaking, not generally, across the board in all seasons, leads don't get their phones. When you're shooting, your phone is gone. You are cut off from society. So TFP, being an influencer, obviously got to make a different deal, saying, well, this is how I make my living. I can't not be on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So she has her phone. And she's making these reels and TikToks where she essentially is forcing the producers to do her bidding in every one of them, whether they're doing stupid dances or whatever she wants. And here she's making them eat Fruity Pebbles. And I don't know if these producers know what that connotation is. If they understand that, like, Fruity Pebbles is, you know, a thing involved with SLOMW, where like a guy is drinking his wife's urine that tastes like Fruity Pebbles. I'm not sure if they know exactly what it's all about, but they are indulging in this lore of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And this is what I was talking about, like the commingling of it all. It's like, well, now Fruity Pebbles is kind of in The Bachelor. Are we going to see Fruity Pebbles in her season in some capacity? Is somebody going to make a joke about it? Is there going to be some kind of like remember how there was the group date on Golden Bachelorette season 2 where all the guys were playing kickball and eating Quaker Oats oatmeal because they're old? Is there going to be a group date sponsored by Post Cereal and they're going to eat Fruity Pebbles? I don't know, but I love what she's doing in terms of like the social media of it, because like we're all following it. Obviously, I'm curious to know like how it's going. We are getting little glimpses of like what some of the dates are, the nature of them. Obviously, there's no spoilers or anything, but we know from one of her posts that they're going to go to a football game, an NFL game. Now we're seeing the producers are eating fucking Fruity Pebbles. I don't know when they're doing this. Like, obviously this is on one of her down days or in between a date or I don't know what, but hats off to you, Taylor Frankie Paul. Honestly, I think you're transforming The Bachelor in a way that is necessary in 2025, or I guess 2026 when the show comes out. And I love everything she is doing right now on her Instagram and TikTok. So congratulations, Taylor Frankie Paul. You have won the Parasocial Play of the Week. And let's also discuss, if we may, a little parasocial creature named Bowie. This week, Dylan Efron of Traitors Season 3 shared an incredible reel of himself and his dog Bowie camping on the beach. It's a multiple slide reel. It has stills. It has video. Please go watch it. Bowie is so goddamn cute. And congrats, Dylan Efron. I believe this is you and Bowie's first Parasocial Creature of the Week award. I'm pretty sure. So hats off to you. Ow. That's so hard to take off. It literally is like, it feels like a helmet. It's like you're wearing a medieval metal helmet. That's the price I pay to be in Dad Talk. Let's move on now to the final portion of our program where I was going to say me and Pace Case, but Pace Case ain't here. So it's just me diving down deep into the fetid waters of the bottom of the pit.
Screams from the pit.
This screams from the pit. It's just me screaming today. Pace Case ain't round, so it's just me. How do I begin this? I do another podcast. I don't have a hat for that one. I'll just keep on Dad Talk. I do another podcast with my family called The Necessary Conversation. It is about politics. I know we used to talk a lot about politics on this show, and I've kind of moved all of that over into that podcast. So if you're missing the political discourse, please go check out The Necessary Conversation. That's literally all it is. And the premise of that podcast is my sister and I are both very liberal, and our parents are not. They're hardcore MAGA. And so we talk with them for an hour a week about the big political issues of the week. It's funny sometimes. It's heartbreaking sometimes. It's in some cases, it's just a way for my sister and I to maintain contact with our parents, because for a long time, really during Obama is when it started, we didn't have any kind of meaningful communication with them at all. And I started this podcast a little bit. One of the main reasons, I suppose, was to like try and reestablish some line of communication with them so that they would be in our lives in a way that they hadn't been in a long time. All that said, that podcast has gained a little bit of traction. Our social media is doing pretty well and stuff. And it winds up sometimes getting into interesting places. I've seen other big, like left-wing YouTubers like Adam Mockler and stuff has talked about it and played clips from it and stuff. Never in my wildest dreams, however, did I imagine that it would land where it has landed now. I have a video. How to even express this? Wait, I need to set this up better. I'm going to play this clip. It's from a podcast called Higher Learning. And if you are a fan of this show, you know that we are huge fans of that show. That show is hosted by Van Lathan, who used to work for TMZ. And he got into a kind of an incident with Kanye at TMZ. No longer works for TMZ, but now he's doing this podcast with Rachel Lindsay. That Rachel Lindsay. That's right. That one. I love this podcast so much. He's hilarious, super smart. She's hilarious, super smart, and has given so much to our beloved game, of course. So that's all the setup I'm going to give. And now I'm going to play this clip, and this is essentially my scream. Here we go.
This guy that does a Necessary Conversations podcast, and he was talking to his parents.
I know who that, because he started off doing a Bachelor podcast, still does do it, Game of Roses.
Game of Roses.
I mean, I guess I never in a million years thought that my political podcast that I do with my parents would somehow elicit the Rachel Lindsay saying Game of Roses and knowing what that podcast is, knowing what this podcast is. I'm on this podcast. I'm like that podcast, but it's like, it's just such a wild, to me, in terms of a scream, it's such a wild occurrence. We always talk about how, like, if you're truly in the pit, everything kind of comes back to the pit, and the pit's dark energies are woven through everything. But then you see something like this, and it's like, it's undeniable. Rachel Lindsay is talking about Game of Roses because I do a podcast talking about politics with my parents. How does any of that happen? I absolutely love shit like this, when it's like the world just kind of gives you these weird little gifts. And also, I would say, Van Lathan, Rachel Lindsay, thank you for mentioning both podcasts, but also thank you for doing Higher Learning. I truly enjoy it. It's one of my favorite podcasts, and I just think they're both so fantastic. So thanks. Hats off to you, if you will. Now, let's move on to a scream from another person. This is a scream from, do I have it here? I don't know who sent this, but I am told there's a video and an audio portion, so maybe it will be revealed. Let's listen to the audio portion first. This, of course, is a scream from somebody out there in the pit. If you have a scream and you want to submit it to us, all you have to do is record it in a 1 minute or shorter video clip, send it to us on Discord. You have to go to patreon.com/Game of Roses, get on the Game of Roses Discord, and you can submit your screams there in a channel called Submit Your Screams. Let's take a listen, and then we will watch the video. Okay, here's the audio portion.
Hi, Pace Case and Bachelor Clues. Or should I say, hello, Chad K. When I first heard Chad's songs for Love Island, the dark energies of the pit, and much medicine, inspired me to make this tap dance creation. I rented a studio and roped in my friends to record this dance for Gore.
Oh my God.
I hope my scream inspires you to watch this most recent season of Love Island Games. I and others in the pit need to see your coverage of this year's open gameplay, incredible faceplay, and astounding tier play. Please enjoy this creation from the pit. Praise be, Dark Lord Maddox and Chad K.
Oh my God. Okay, this is absolutely wild. Let me just address the Love Island Games thing. I'm not going to cover it. It's too much. I have so much to do already. I cannot put another show in the rotation. My apologies. Now, on to what we're about to watch. I have this video here. I have not watched this. I'm already kind of, I don't know, nervous, excited, all of the things. So just to get this straight, this person rented a studio and is going to do some kind of dance, a tap dance, I guess, to a Chad K song. Is that, I think I'm setting that up properly. I'm not exactly sure, but here we go. Let's watch this video. I can't wait. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. This is unbelievable. Oh my God. This is unreal. Holy shit. This is amazing. Oh fuck. The editing. The Sauce Wars t-shirt, the old 4TR shirt. Fuck. It's an LA Icon shirt too. This is amazing. God damn it. Oh, what's the other shirt? Is that When I Was the Bachelor? Oh my God! No! Oh shit, that one hurt me. Oh my God, it was incredible. Thank you so much for making that. Like this, your scream is now one of my screams. That this piece of art exists. First of all, choreography, astounding, impeccable, beautiful. I loved all the Gore paraphernalia, the different various shirts that were being worn was fantastic. Ending it in a spinning hoochie. It's fucking fantastic. And all the editing, you've got the colored filters coming over. There's some like diamond wipes and shit coming out of there. Man, that was really good. That was so fucking good. Thank you so much. That's like a Christmas present that I'll never forget. But now we do have to rate this. What kind of scream level is this? I mean, shit, this is about as deep as it goes. You're decked out in gore paraphernalia. You have choreographed this. You have rented the studio. You have edited this video. I don't know if you guys did this all in one take or not. I can imagine you probably did it a couple of times. The hooju at the the hooju at the end legit is like, I cannot deal with that. I will rewatch this video multiple times. Again, thank you so much for it. It truly, like, we've had other kinds of things like this in the past every once in a while. We had there are a couple of people that covered some of my early songs, like The Dark Season. Somebody covered that once. Somebody wrote us a little song about being glorified. That one was great. This, in my opinion, is like at that level. Art made as a reaction to or reflection of our fandom of The Bachelor and of being in the pit and all of that. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much again for that. God, just a beautiful work of art. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. It's going to take me a minute to recover from that. But thank you everybody for joining me solo. Please give all your best thoughts and wishes. Put the vibes out to Pace Case as she's having her baby, maybe this very moment. I don't know about when the actual child will be among us, but it's very soon. I miss her. I can't wait for her to be back. But in her stead, I will continue to bring you This Week in Bachelor Nation. Actually, no. I think next week what I'm going to do for the Friday episode is going to be a top 10 moments from 2025. So just kind of a look back, a retrospective of everything that happened, everything that didn't happen, The Bachelorette, and just kind of break down, what were the big important things in Bachelor Nation over the course of this past year. And I may have a very special guest joining me for that episode next Friday. So please be there for that. And like I said, go to patreon.com/gameofroses. I'm still popping off there. You're getting an episode a day of some kind of Casa Gore thing. We are, right after I finish recording this, I'm going to do 2 episodes of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives to finish out season 3 and the reunion. So actually, by the time you're listening to this, the whole Secret Lives catalog will be up in Casa Gore. Join us for that. And everybody, I hope that you're having a great holiday season, which is really beginning now. And I'll be back with everything else as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me. As Pace Case would say, praise be Dark Lord Vial.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.